It's Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol NIO for NIO Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. You can see we have quite a bit of marks on our charts here. I always like starting from scratch whenever we're kind of moving into uncharted territories and the lines, our levels essentially, are no longer relevant. So in terms of zooming out here, giving ourselves that daily roadmap, we should put something back on our charts, correct? This is basically what I'm seeing here, and we are going to have to search for more data in terms of downside levels that could be in play here as we're moving into fairly uncharted territories, at least in terms of the past year or so. Our next major downside support comes from the pullback here from October of, that was 2020, which is around 25.88, 26 even, that general area. And then note that there's quite a ways to fall until about 22.31. Let me just zoom in on that section of the chart actually, so you can see this. Again, here we have a big gap underneath us. It was basically vertical before that, so there's a void of price action in here that's going to offer very little support. Okay, so that's basically what I'm seeing, which could be in play underneath us. Now I say could be in play because if you certainly look at the daily bar here, it's fairly bearish, right? It's a full solid bodied red candle indicating that the sellers were able to close it relatively weak down towards the lows. If we take a closer look at the 30-minute intraday time frame, what you'll also notice is it basically formed and gave us a 30-minute bear flag, right? This here is your flag. So in terms of Fibonacci analysis, we want to see how weak the close actually was. We'll come in from the high of day down to the low of day, and what you'll notice is that we never made an attempt to get back up and over that 38.2. Sure, we resisted there in the afternoon, but that last 30-minute bar did ultimately take us lower here inside of NIO. So all things considered, fairly weak close, and again, I just want to reiterate the pattern here, bear flag. If it pans out, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect the same sort of distance here stacked from the top of the flag. So let's go ahead and do that together, just kind of find where that move might actually take us, and what we want is this. Here we go. We're going to use the extensions because, it's just going to make it easier for us. Here we go. Down to the low, up to the high, and we're looking for the 100% extension. So our target was going to be around 26.75, and where does that put us in terms of daily levels that we mapped out? And not really close to anything significant. We know that 26 is kind of that real major downside level to be paying attention to. So if there's follow through underneath that, then yeah, don't get me wrong, there is some more room to fall until we catch ourselves potentially at 26. So NIO's not looking too hot here. We talked about Fibonacci's, we talked about projections. If there is going to be a change back to the long side, where would it be produced? Well, quite simply up and over that 38.2 for potentially, I use this word very, very lightly on the channel in the light of what happened with GameStop and AMC and all that stuff, but there's potential for any shorts here late to the party, and by late to the party, I mean from the daily perspective, who got, short here expecting lower tomorrow. If we open up and we start pressuring this 28.43, basically the 38.2 fib, and getting candle closes above, again, very lightly I put it, it's just added buying pressure, maybe a short squeeze, right? Back up to the highs of today's session, closer to about, let's just call that 29.50 as a general target here inside of NIO. If, again, that's if we do get that move up and over the 38.2. So overwhelmingly, it is bearish. The daily trend is down. We are sort of negating the buying pressure from last Friday. And of course, we talked about the pattern here, the bear pennant. Again, don't forget that the trend here is down. We have a bearish pattern. We're not looking for upside, but if it wants to take out that 28.43, don't be surprised if we get a move that looks like that, squeezing us up closer to 29.50 as we just discussed. To the downside, you can either take a breakdown of the flag support trend line, or the more conservative trader is probably looking for a breakdown underneath the low of day for a continuation. So roughly that's 27.84 to get us closer to that 26 target, with 26.75 as that 100% fib extension. So that's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.